Welcome to Landrianka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and to live a beautiful, awesome life. Alright, so what do we do when anxiety and worry takes over? Alright, do I have, God, you know how many times I talk to you guys and I've got makeup underneath here. Alright, what do you do when anxiety takes over and you just really can't get a grip on it? In fact, meditating is the last thing you want to do because you're just so worked up, and meditating makes you just like focused on it. Well, I want to do a little exercise with you. If you get to that point, if you're in that space now, whether it's a little bit of worry or a, freaking out kind of worry, let's do a little exercise right now to help you clear that out. And it's probably going to surprise you, maybe not. By now, if you watch my videos, you know that I fight nothing. I only choose new thoughts, new feelings. Now that's not always easy to do because you're thinking, well, that problem still exists and it's tough for me to ignore it. Well, you don't have to ignore it. In fact, we're going to do the opposite. When you start to feel the worry and the anxiety and it is taking over you and it just is growing, it's got a mind of its own, I want you to do something and see if this doesn't help you. If you're feeling it right now at all, let's do it right now. So you sit here, and so right now I want you to just think about how you feel. Take a deep breath. Blow it out. And be aware of your feelings. Now, if you were worried and you had anxiety, maybe just doing that, you feel a little bit lighter. Or maybe it feels really bad. That's not the exercise. Here's what the exercise is. I want you to actually focus. Yeah, I really do want you to do this. I want you to focus on the worry and the anxiety and ask yourself what it is. And really look at it. Really go ahead and feel it, because most of what we feel when we're worrying is that we're feeling something that we don't want to feel, so we fight the feeling. And it actually fuels it. So there's a very good chance you're not just going to get rid of that anxiety right away. Maybe you will. Maybe this exercise will get you to do that. But what I'm trying to do is get you to really take a look at it. Stop fighting the feeling you don't want to feel. We're going to start with, that's the first step. So let's look at it. Okay. It's worry. It's fear. It feels really bad. It feels bad. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to say, okay, it feels really bad. Yeah, it's fear, because worry is fear. Now don't start analyzing it, just look at it. Okay, I'm worried. Let's look at it. All right, it is an entity. That is part of my ego. I've trained that ego to worry because that's its job. Its job is to consistently protect me from things that may happen in the future or may not happen in the future, that I don't, I want to happen, it isn't going to happen. I want the job and it's not going to happen. I'm worried about it's not happening. It's always worried about something that most of the time has never happened, or worried about something that happened that's already gone. It's never about the present moment. It's really going on the present moment. It's always concentrating on the worst case scenarios. That's all it is. You trained it to do that. And the collective consciousness has contributed to that. That's what it is. So we're not going to fight it. We're going to say, my friend, worry, I know you're doing your job. You're doing your job. You're doing exactly what I trained you to do. And everybody else told me I should train you to do. And everybody else's beliefs that you're telling me are true that I know aren't true. That worry, I'm going to look at it right now and say, you know what? Worry is not my enemy. Worry's not my enemy. It's a protection system that's just there. So I'm going to take a good look at it and say, okay, how do I feel worry? All right, you know what? I'm not going to battle it. I'm not going to battle that. I'm just going to look at it and say, thank you. Thank you for trying to protect me. But I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe all that anymore. In fact, I want to choose to be a completely different person. I want to choose completely different thoughts and beliefs. So I know you're going to hang around for a while, and you're welcome. I'm not going to try and tell you to go away. I'm not going to fight you. You can hang out for a while until you realize I just don't need you anymore. Become friends with it. You're the one that has encouraged it to be hanging around all this time, and now all of a sudden you want to battle it. And by the way, it will battle you. It's not going to go. The more you battle, it's go, wait a minute. Now I'm really coming after you because I'm going to protect you because this is what you've been telling me. So and if you just say, hey, okay, you're here. You're here. I accept it. Now what? Well, I'm going to choose a different thought and feeling. I'm going to choose that. And then you think of, what is that thought? What is that feeling? What is that person? Who's that person you want to be? Because you're not defined. You are a free light being that can be somebody completely different the next moment. You get to choose. You get to choose. So, let's say you're not even to the point where you can do that. Maybe you can't even clear your head enough to choose a new thought or a belief. Change your thinking. That's okay. Just don't fight the anxiety or feelings or stress. Just don't fight it. Welcome it. And almost, seriously, I think of it as a friend. I think of it as a sad little friend that's been in a worry little, I think of it as a cute little fuzzy thing that's worried all the time, and it's sad, and it's always, and it thinks it's protecting me. I think of it that way, and all of a sudden it becomes this sweet little thing that, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry I dragged you along for this ride. Not some evil thing that takes over that you can't overcome. And then I think of it as something that is just going to hang around for a while. And eventually it snoozes. It takes a little nap. I catch it off guard, and then I choose a different thought. And then all of a sudden it really has no power anymore. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. I'm not really worried. I'm not worried at all. So, can you take a deep breath right now? Do you feel any negativity? Is it a little bit lighter? Is that little cloud over there still hanging around? Okay. It's okay. It'll eventually fade. If it's there, I want you, when it shows up, instead of battling to get rid of it, hating it, trying not to pay attention to it, of course it's going to get worse. How can you not pay attention to it? If you're thinking about it, you're paying attention to it. If you're feeling it, you're paying attention to it. So give it the attention. Turn it around and look it straight at it and say, all right, what do you want? Here I am. Now what? And all of a sudden it gets really quiet. What am I worried about? Not having money. Well, right now I'm just sitting here, and worrying isn't going to change that. In fact, it's going to fuel that fire. And I choose not to do that. I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to fight against anything negative. I'm going to bless it. It served a purpose. It was a training for me. It was training. It's a lesson for us, because we got ourselves in a situation and we've been trained to think a certain way. We've been trained to behave a certain way, to oppose things, to allow that ego to control who we are, which is absolutely has unlimited manifesting powers. Unlimited. So, can you sit with it right now and know that it doesn't have any power over you? It's just an entity hanging around thinking it's protecting you. Don't fight it. Just go, there it is again. Okay, all right. Yeah. Because when you're focused on it, you're not thinking, you don't have the, oh, I don't love this, I hate how I feel. And then you're thinking about the stuff, what's bothering you. And it's more than thinking about the actual worry itself, the feeling. Has you focused on the feeling, which you know is just self-created. And when you recognize that, it will start to dissipate. So let me know if that helps you at all. It's always helped me. When I got it, boy, I'll catch myself like, woo, what was that? And I look at it and I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm going to take a look at that. Where did that come from? There was a trigger of some kind, old behaviors, and like, okay, I'm gonna face it and say, okay, I know that's just not true. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm choosing this over here because I know that I can change my reality, and by choosing this, that's what will make it happen. And you have that power. You just don't believe it yet. That's okay. You'll get there. And don't say you believe it. Yeah, I do, Landry, I believe it. You'll know you really believe it when it starts showing up in your reality. And when those things start to show up, you know you're getting there. You know that you have opened up those gateways and you are starting to actually believe that you have that power, because you do. You do. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy, sending you light, peace, abundance, health, wealth, prosperity, joy. Namaste.